are you? Looking at HR legal issue and health. I'm your host, Carl Williams, and my co-host.
Gloria Searles, good morning. The Lord bless you all.
You got to talk right into the mic.
Good morning. The Lord bless you all.
And we are here every Tuesday at 9 to 10 to bring you the information about the community and things about your health, tips about your health, and a lot of different things that you need to be aware of. Um, we talk about the Constitution, which I always like to inform people to get what I call your reference tools. Your reference tools are your state constitution, your federal constitution, your charter, Detroit City Charter, because they also have a Wayne Charter. I mean, your county charter. It's pretty thick. But you most certainly need your city charter right now with the things that we're going through. And you also need your basic human right pamphlet. And you can, because a lot of people, I've been in the community is asking me about the basic human rights, and I couldn't remember it off the top of my head, but they have a place in the pamphlet. I thought I could had it where you can write to them, and they send you a copy free.
I think it was a phone number in there as well.
Yes, it's a address and a phone number. I thought it was right in the front, but apparently,
Couple pages back.
okay, let me see if I can find it, because if I don't tell you now, and we get to talking, I allowed to forget. What is this? This is very unusual, because this is very, okay, here it is. You can contact, it's the Youth for Human Rights International. 1920 Hillhurst, that's Willhurst Avenue, number 416, Los Angeles, California, 90027, USA. Get that again. Youth for Human Rights International, 1920 Hillhurst Avenue, number 416, Los Angeles, California. They just got the CA there. 90027 USA. And the phone number is area code 323-663-5799. That's area code 323-663-5799. Now you can call them. Oh, they got a email address too. info@youthforhumanrights.org. That's info@humanrights, not youthforhumanrights.org. So it's basically the same thing as same address. The same address that you're using to call them, that's the same address that you use for email. And why I'm saying this, because you need to get more informed with your basic human rights, because well, that's just something you need to know. That's something we all should know something about, although people don't even talk about it. But there's a reason why the mainstream or the people in charge don't want you to know about it, because when you do know about it and you understand, then you can become in control instead of being controlled. You can be the controller. But you have to understand this. All these rights, I mean, everything that we do are governed by something. There's some rules, some policy, some ordinance. So we are governed by a group of laws, rules, policies. I don't care what it is. There is some policy or some rule to govern it. Now, the fact that you are unaware of that don't mean it don't exist. You know, you got the Public Service Commission. Now, they are really supposed to be over DT Energy, and AT&T is a little different. That's the FCC. But all of them have a agency that they have to report to, or that governs them. And the reason why we have a lot of problem with the agency is because we don't make reports. A lot of us think that, you know, they just out there and they can do what they want to do. Yeah, they can if you allow them to do that. But you be surprised. A lot of times people say, well, that ain't going to do no good. But you'd be surprised what I'm from the, I don't like to say old school. I just say from the traditional way of doing things. Nothing beats pen and paper.
Yeah.
I don't care what nobody tell you.
Right.
They taxing and they doing all this here, but that's not to benefit you. You may think it is because it's convenient and it's nice and it's quick, but one thing I know about the traditional way is that I like having my own copy. I like to put it in the computer, make enough copies for the individuals that I'm sending to, and have an extra copy for myself. Yeah, I print it out. A lot of people do not. Now, I just got a problem with this. A lot of people like to leave everything on their hard drive. That's kind of dangerous, because if something ever go wrong with your computer, and trust me, sometime it will. You know, they talk about viruses and different things that can affect it. And if you're not computer savvy or you don't know somebody that is, you can lose all your files. Yeah. You know, people don't talk about it. So I use the old style of the, you know, they call it old, but it ain't really old. They got this. And most of your computers, you know, you don't hear people talk about them now. They say, well, don't get that kind no more. That's the kind I want, because you can put it in there. And like myself, I have a whole lot of files. I got hundreds and hundreds, you might well say thousands of files on different subjects, different things. You just take the disk and put it in there and download it. And then you can, you know, you can title the disk, and then you always got a record of it. You know, it's a safekeeping. You know, if anything ever go wrong with your computer, you got a copy. You don't lose it. And you can put so much on them discs. I mean, you know, one disc, I actually could put all my files on one disc. And trust me, I got a lot of files. So you need to have a way of protecting these files or whatever it is that you have. You know, you need to keep a copy for yourself, or whatever it is. You know, I'm dealing with the Charter Commission. You know, there's a lot of rules that govern that. The Open Meetings Act, you know, you got the charter itself, which I have a charter. You can get one down at the City County building on the second floor. I think it's about $6. You need one. You need one. You don't have to know the whole thing backwards and forwards, but that's why I call it a reference tool. So when there's a subject that you're talking about, you can always look it up and see exactly what it says instead of listening to somebody preach to you and tell you what they think it means. You know, sometimes, you know, you have two people, they could read the same thing and get a different meaning. Sometimes the different meaning is done intentionally to get you to think a certain way. So that's why it's best to have your own copy so you can read it for yourself. Then you won't have to be at risk of being bamboozled, because we done did that quite a bit. And that's basically from not knowing or not reading for ourselves. You know, like they say in the scripture, my people perish for lack of knowledge.
That's right.
They're not talking about food. I mean, it's food really for your brain, but they talking about knowledge. I mean, knowledge is everything. It could be math. It could be the laws. It could be food. It could be health. I mean, it's all of these things. You know, knowledge covers a wide scope and a variety of different issues and things and subjects. And you don't know them all, but you might, you know, you have your favorites. You might, a lot of that you might commit to memory. But the rest of it, you want to have it where you can get to it if you need it. So that's why you have to have all your reference tools that I call them, you know. So,
And you know that knowledge is really what the truth is about each one of those subjects. So you'll know the difference and what's really true about it, and then what's really against you and false about it. You know, knowing it and going along with everything and not knowing that at the end it's going to cost you your health and it's going to cost you money and all that. Knowing the difference.
might even cost you your freedom,
Your
depending on
freedom,
what we're talking
you know.
about.
So you got to know that, you know, but people are destroyed for lack of knowledge about the truth that's going to benefit them long term. That truth,
Yeah, the real truth,
the real truth.
not that stuff that they just that we've been lied to
Been
and told
fed
about.
for so long.
Yeah, and that everything happened for a reason. When you know you hear people, I hear people say it all the time. You know, well, you know, we just don't understand. You know, we just curse, and you know, people buy into all this stuff. It's all because of the way you have been taught.
Yeah.
You can be on. What I always say is that black folks need to be deprogrammed.
That's the thing.
Excuse me. Because when you have learned something and you've been doing it for a long time, sometimes it's kind of hard to break away from doing that, you know, understanding. So, you know, sometimes it takes a little time. But one good thing about it, once you learn the truth and you correct whatever it was that you were doing, whether you're talking about
That's
your
right.
health or whether you're talking about something, the way you looked at the law or how the courts view things, I don't care what it is. Once you find out the truth, now you can correct it.
Yes.
And the benefits, there's no set amount of, how can I say, benefits that you may get from it.
Mm-hmm.
It's depending on what you're doing. But, you know, I don't care how. I know I read the case. Me and some, we used to always do research on different cases. And there was one case, I think it was Dearborn Township versus Dearborn. And the judge said that, he said, once the courts find out the truth, it doesn't matter if it was 100 years. The court is supposed to bring it back in line with the law. Now, that, I mean, you know, that goes true with everything now. Y'all know the courts are kind of crazy now. You got a lot of what they call conservative judges in there now. But, you know, the rules that govern them too. They not untouchable like a lot of people might think. Now, although I do believe, and I think that people need to discuss, there should be no such job as a lifetime job. See, that's why you got some judges that act crazy and do what they want to do and disrespect the law because they feel like they untouchable. So that's one thing that need to be changed.
Not, yeah.
You
Term
don't never
limits.
need to have nobody
Yeah.
appointed or elected to a lifetime job. Every job, I don't care what job it is, it need to have certain limits on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you give a person a lifetime job, well, you just, they get the feeling like, hey, ain't nothing you can do to me. I'm here for life.
Mm-hmm.
So I violated your rights. What you gonna do about it? Some of them, they're arrogant. Some of them feel like that and think like that. So, you have to look at these things and, you have to address them. Nothing happened overnight, but, we need to be looking at all these things because they are important. And if they're not important, they will be important in the future as far as your kids and your grandkids is concerned, which is our future. So you have to look at it from that standpoint. It might not be affecting you now at this minute, but eventually it will. And that's one reason why this charter is so important, because we are in a moment in time where there's, I guess, a dynamics or a paradigm where what you do now is going to affect you for the next 16 or more years. Yes, what they put in that charter, once it's passed, it's going to affect you for a long, long time. So you have to be mindful. You need to understand what's going on. You need to, and the things that you think about, like certain things that you don't want or you don't like. Well, you need to sit down and think about what would you want in the charter to prevent it or keep it from happening. It's a lot of little things, just little things. People was all upset about this mayor coming in here from Livonia, parachuted in here for a few months to make him eligible. Well, that should never happen. You can stop that in the charter. That's all you got to do is say anybody eligible for any office had to be here for 5 years. Not just have a house here, live here, sleep here in your house. Not have a house and your girlfriend staying in it, or your son or somebody else. No, you as an individual, you have to stay there. See, that's one way to eliminate some of these things that seem to get up under your skin and bother you. And you just sit down here and you think about what it is that you don't like. And you got friends, call them, and, talk about it. Narrow it down to, make it simple as possible, but effective. And then, you could submit it in. Now, you could talk to somebody and you might, sometimes you have an idea, but you can't get the phrase exactly the way you want it. You talk to a few different people and you'd be surprised the kind of feedback you might get, and you can use that. And you can write it down and you can submit it to the charter. Yes, you can submit your ideas. Don't wait until all this is over with and then talk about what you should have done. Now is the time to be doing that. Now is the time to get your little few people together, or however many people you want to get together, and discuss these different things. Get you a charter and sit down and look through that and see what you see that's missing that you would want in there, or what you see that's in there that you might want to improve. You might not like the way it's said. You might want to say it a different way where you can do that. Now's the time to do that. You could be working on that. I mean, you got different things and different process that the Child Commission is going through now, but that don't stop you from, sitting down and at least getting your ideas together so when the time comes for them to look at it and approve it, you got your stuff in. So, let's not just be what you call it, armchair quarterback. Let's get in the game. Let's be part of the process, not part of the problem, but part of the solution. And the way you can be part of the solution is by coming up with ideas and participating. Give support to those Child Commission. Because, trust me, it ain't no easy job. Y'all know how it is dealing with our folks now. If you didn't did anything dealing with us, it can be very difficult. So, they ain't got, you got to give them support. You got to give them support because you got some people that's seem like they go out their way to make things difficult. And, they got all that to contend with on top of some of the other things they had to deal with the public. So they need your support. Sometimes just a phone call sometimes don't hurt. Just to let them know that you got their back. Because I know you sometimes take for granted. Oh, well, they know it. No. They need to hear it from you from time to time. Now, I don't mean for you to flood their phone with phone calls, but, every now and then just give them a shout out and let them know that, you got them in your prayers and you supporting them 100%. And when they need you, you will be there. When they have these Child Commission, be there. You ain't got to do nothing but just show up sometime. And sometimes by showing up, you hear a lot of things that you wasn't even aware of. Look, I go to these meetings. Sometimes I hear things that I wasn't aware of because you don't know everything. So that's one way to be informed, is to be there. Listen to it. And then a lot of times you go and you hear something that you wasn't even expecting to hear. That might solve a problem that you had and you never thought about. Because one thing about it, you never know who you're going to meet when you go to these meetings.
That's right.
You never know. And you could be talking to somebody, and I had that kind of experience. It was a fella, he was talking, and I said, I'm thinking right off the top. He's somebody that I wouldn't want to deal with. He ain't for the people. Because he made a strange statement, And then after I walking around, because they over there at the Bustle branch. They got an office over there. And I walked around and went in, and I ain't going to give his name right now. And started talking to the guy. Come to find out we had more in common than what I thought. And what he was saying is just the way he said it. And after I told him what I thought, and he said, you know what, I could have said that a different way because that ain't what I meant. I said, oh, okay. And, me and him sitting there and had a kind of dialogue, and, but I was doing something else, so I couldn't stay. But, see, you sometimes you just have to open up your mouth and say something.
That's right.
Even if it's a person that you think you don't want to talk to. Because that very person that you think you don't want to talk to might have the solution to your problem. So you can't put nobody out. Richard Mack, he's one of the Child Commission, and you can say he's one of the main persons. He's an intelligent guy, smart, but being intelligent and being smart don't make you right. You can use that intellect to do the right thing or do the wrong thing. And you may think you right, but being on the wrong side make you wrong. So you have to choose selectively how you want to address something or how you want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
You could think that you're right as two left shoes and be just as wrong. Not because of what you're saying, but because of the people who water you are carrying or the people you are supporting.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because that's what's really going on with the child. I ain't ashamed to tell you. You got some, yeah, and see, that at this time and stage, it would be nice if we all were working together. Because whether you know it or not, eyes are on Detroit. Eyes have been on Detroit because this is the last black major city that was a so-called powerhouse in the country. So people are watching, whether you know it or not. And this charter is going to be very essential to how we move forward. So it's very, very important. See, one thing you got to understand, anytime you got big power brokers or politicians that's involved in something, a red light should come on.
Yeah.
Because they're not doing it just to waste time. When you got Dan Gilbert, and also wasn't just Dan Gilbert, it was the Republican Party, along with your so-called mayor, Duggan. They supported some of these people that they put on the charter. Now, why do you think they want to have influence about that charter? Why do you think they want to stack the deck, as they say, to make sure that they get what they want? See, we so nice and we so, you know, by nature, you know, we don't like to cheat. We just like to do things above board. See, but you can't, when you're dealing with I don't know how I want to say this, the devil or rascal or whatever you want to call him, well, then you got to use a different technique. You ain't got to get down and dirty like he did, but you got to use a different technique.
And stand your ground.
You got to stand your ground. And when I say stand your ground, I mean you got to stand your ground. You can't let them phase you. You don't let them knock you off your square. You stand there and you hold it. Because one thing about falsehood, you don't have to say too much because eventually it would destroy itself. Because it's based on falsehood. You know, I know a lot of y'all don't believe that. That's because you don't have enough confidence in yourself and you don't have enough confidence in the truth. I said, but once you do it, because I done did it too many times on a small scale. Or what some people might call a small scale. But it works.
Yeah.
And I don't care where you go, it works. It's just like the health. You know, I'm almost sick every time I go somewhere. I'm running into people. I mean, it's like look like I'm been drawn to them kind of people. Every time I turn around, I got high blood pressure. High blood pressure. Yeah, and I got to take these pills the rest of my life. Whoa. Who told you you got to take some the rest of your life? Was you born with high blood pressure? Well, if you weren't born with high blood pressure, you can get rid of it. Don't let nobody tell you you got something, you got to do it for the rest of your life. I can't even count the people that I keep running into. They're talking about high blood pressure and diabetes and those are the two things. Well, you know, they intermingle. Eventually, if you got one, you're going to end up getting the other one. If you don't do the right thing. And the right thing is to give your body the proper thing. I know y'all done heard the old saying, uh, give the body what it needs and the body heal itself. That's true. If you put the right herbs, the right food in the body will actually heal itself.
And the right words in your
Right.
mouth.
Oh, yeah.
What you're saying about
Thank you.
yourself.
Yeah, because you can self-induce
Disease.
disease and infliction. You can self-induce it. You know, when you own something, sometimes just owning something will be the cause of you getting something.
Right.
I don't own nothing that's negative. If it's negative, no. That ain't me. No, but they say, well, they got it. Not me. I ain't got nothing to do with what they got. And you have to own that. Because if you know, that's why I hate to hear people say, well, you know, they say black folks are prone to this, prone to that. And you keep saying that, and that manifestation, it will manifest.
Yeah.
Because you keep saying, you're putting it out there in the universe. And then a lot of times you say something so much and so long until you actually believe it. I didn't have people come and tell me, well, I got diabetes. I said, well, how you know you got diabetes? Because the doctor told me I had diabetes. I said, well, how do you feel? Well, I feel all right. Well, why you feel you got diabetes then? You know, I say, you know, you gotta stop and think.
Who benefits?
Yeah, that's the big thing. Who benefits?
Benefits for you having.
See,
these diseases.
we got to stop claiming all these negative things. I don't claim nothing negative. Now, that don't mean that I'm ignorant, and if I got something, I won't deal with it. But I ain't just going, You got to prove to me that whatever it is, that it's ailing me. And you ain't going to have to prove it to me because my body would tell me. You know, the body can talk to you. Your body do talk to you. We just too ignorant to understand what it's saying. When you get a pain, your body's talking to you. It's telling you something's wrong, something you doing, something you need to check on.
That's right.
You know.
Some they did, some they allowed.
That's right.
They had confidence in whoever was talking to them. And knowing deep in themselves, they know that ain't right, but just go along to get along. You know. You look at back when they invented the blood pressure cuff or the sphygmomanometer, you know, all this stuff.
What was that? The who?
Sphygmomanometer.
Get
you know,
right
the
in
blood
the mic.
pressure, the blood pressure cuff.
Yeah.
And the you know, the stethoscope. Before those things were invented, you know, there was no blood pressure problem. Before they invented insulin.
Say that again.
Before they invented insulin,
they need to hear that.
diabetes. You go back to the time of the Emancipation Proclamation. Before that, nobody bought a sick slave. Nobody bought a sick slave. So those people were healthy. And after they were freed, then the trick started. That was planned already. And they had not invented the diabetes.
Say it again.
They had not invented the
Had not
diabetes.
invented
high
or
blood pressure.
created.
You know, you were eating naturally grown stuff, so nothing was processed or additives added to. You know, added to. It was okay, but they add stuff to it. You know, powdered stone. You know, minerals, powdered rock, minerals, vitamins. Well, they didn't do the vitamins till like 1900. But yet there could be a such thing as a vitamin deficiency.
Now, I got a silly question to ask you. Since they didn't invent vitamins until the 1900s, what were we doing before then?
There was no vitamins available. And
So we didn't need no vitamins before the 1900s?
my grandfather was born in 18, I think it was around 1890. He didn't know nothing about a vitamin or minerals. You know, he was a farmer. They raised everything.
So that that proves or verify what you just the word invention.
Yeah, inventors, scripture call it inventors of evil things. People need to read that, look it up.
Mm.
Inventors of evil things
Inventors of evil
that
things.
that violently take your health.
Violently take your health.
Violently.
Mm.
Subtly, slowly, it takes your health.
Mm.
That's war.
Yeah, that is war.
And this was planned even before, we were born. This was planned way back. And so now people, well, these people are prone to this because they always believe what's told them. They prone to this. They lack this. They lack that. You know, the Creator didn't put dominion of one man over another. We're all on this field, this earth. We're not above the sun. We're all below the sun. We're under the sun. So we're on a level playing field. But somehow we think we lack. Well, we prone to this. My whole family was diabetic.
Yeah.
My whole family.
I hate to hear that.
All of us, how did you
We
believe that?
got because they say that we genetically inherited poppycock.
Well, they hadn't invented genetics then either.
That's
You
funny.
talk about 1858, Mendel and some of his cronies. But we're so quick to believe everything we hear. They announce every year so many people are going to be diagnosed with this, going to be diagnosed with that, going to die from this. We're going to all die. But we don't have to die sick, and we don't have to die with those things. And it's something we're doing to hasten ourselves along that way. We're going after that. Well, I'm going to go see if I got it. Who are you going to see? Who are you going to see if you got it? We're so trusting.
Who said he's going to tell you the truth?
I mean, they hadn't even invented some of this stuff. So we helped them out going in there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is how they survive. It's how different people make their money. You don't go to the lawyer, he won't make anything. You don't go to the doctor, they won't make anything. You don't do the health spas, they don't make anything. So our dollars are very much desired in the system. And it's about that money, that love of money. That love of money is, now that should be the main disease.
You're right.
That love of money, off of us. Blood, sweat, and tears off of us. So we got to see who we got our confidence in and why. Why are you trusting somebody you don't know nothing about? Because they say it. You can read it. It's available. All these smartphones, they so smart. Pull it up. Pull up the people that come up in the 1920s, Canada, 30s, the diabetes, the insulin. When the baby, whatever they would do to make the body start fighting against itself. What were the people eating and drinking? What were they putting in the water that they were telling people to drink? We just got to go back. Go back.
Yeah, go back to the source.
Go back to the source. I go back to 2 generations from my family. On both sides, they were farmers. My mom's side, my father's side. They was raising their own food. They had their own farms. They were okay until they start listening to some other people coming in.
Modernizing.
Technologically advanced.
Yeah, all these fancy words.
Smart now. The smart this and the smart that. Or my this or my that. We better be watching and stop accepting everything that we're told. As Hassan told me, first met him, they're not your friend.
That's right.
I said, well, they was talking to me really nice. He said, yeah, yeah. He said, but remember, they're not your friend. Okay, thank you.
That's right. That's right. We had a motto. the judge, I mean the lawyer is your enemy, and the judge is not your friend.
Okay.
And see, that's the kind of mindset you have when you talking to them. You ain't got to be combative, but you have to be open minded to understand
Yeah.
the arena that you're going into,
The
because the lawyer can be very helpful to you once he see you ain't a fool.
Yeah.
But if he see that you one of these fools, and if he tell you that the water is red, and you know water ain't red, and you believe it, well then he'll tell you anything. But if he see you got just a little sense, most of them, they kind of halfway do right.
Right. And then
Although
how?
I don't have very much respect for them.
Yeah. The other thing I think of often what Hassan had told me that you all had learned in the mosque, I guess under Minister Elijah Muhammad. He said, "How do you know that? How do you know they told you the truth? How do you know?
Yeah,
I mean, do you know they told you the truth? I don't care if it's 100 people sitting there, but how do you know what you're hearing? They're telling you the truth.
tell
You
you the
got to
truth.
know."
That's right.
And I said,
I
"He
never
actually
forget
said
that.
that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, that's okay. It's okay." Then I start looking at things a lot different. They
Mhm.
teaching hate. They just know
Mm-mm.
they're teaching you to think.
Think. That's why
Okay.
it made me very question everything.
Yes.
And that made me a better person, because a lot of things that I wasn't questioning, when I start questioning, that don't even make sense.
Yeah. That's right.
You mean I've been believing this crap all these
These
years?
years.
And it don't even make sense once I sit down and analyze what it is that I was thinking about.
Well, it went along with scripture. In the scripture, Christ had told them a little before they took him out. He said, don't let no man deceive you. If they tell you whatever, wasn't a such thing as diabetes back in his day, 33 AD. He said, don't believe them. If they tell you what, don't believe them. You check it out. And then after he told me that's what you all have been taught, the minister, that, how do you know they told you the truth? And I start,
Almost the same thing, ain't it?
it is the same thing. Here, I'm Miss Nurse and got my degree and, my my bachelor's, my master's, I done studied. I've been at the university,
See,
Rackham School of Education. I
oh
know.
boy. See, now we just did something here, and I hope y'all seen it. See, we got all these, I call them division of people,
Mm-hmm.
tools that they use to divide us, to keep us separated. Religion is one of the main things. Now, I'm grown up as as a Muslim. She's a Christian, but we saying the same thing. See, words can hurt you,
Oh, yeah.
but when you understand, they can help you and reinforce. See, me and her, we got a, how can I say it? Common interests. And most of the things that she say, I didn't heard it
Mm-hmm.
in the mosque. So it's not, you call yourself a Muslim, you call yourself, it don't make no difference. It's one of the same. Because the truth there is the truth here. It's no different. Just because you say you a Christian, okay, I'm a Muslim. Oh, I'm different from you. What make you different? Because you got a different name?
Well, that truth will make you free.
Yes, it will make
Over
you
the
free.
years, it made me free of thinking that I had this or I'm prone to that. I got to think, I ain't prone to nothing evil. I'm prone to good,
Good,
too.
that's right.
I'm prone. I could have a long life. And when it's time to die, die. I ain't got to die sick. I ain't got to die broke,
I ain't got to die hurt.
hurt, scared. Okay. So it freed me from that bondage. I could shake that off. There's some other stuff. Well, you got to do this. I found I ain't got to do that. I shook that off. I ain't got to do that.
That's
I
right.
don't have to please folk. I need to do the right thing.
That's right.
Do the right thing and tell people the truth, and then straight. I don't have to be dodging people. Oh, I told them that. Oh, here they come. No, no. I can look
Oh,
them in the face. Yeah.
we got to take some of these calls. This phone and lit up. I don't know what we said, but it is lit up. Hello, you on there?
Good morning, Brother Carl.
Good morning. How you?
Peaceful. Good morning, Queen.
Good morning.
You know, Queen, you're absolutely right. You know, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us that, he taught the sisters that her kitchen was her medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
And you know, sister, you know, back in the 30s, this wicked man, he started depleting the soil. You know, you remember the great dust storm back in the 20s and whatnot.
Peanuts.
You know, they depleted the soil because we got our minerals and vitamins through what we ate. You know, when Master Prophet Muhammad came, he said there was a cure for everything on the planet. You know, through the plants and whatnot, the plant life. And so, you know, as you say, we are following a baby. You know, that's like following a child that's only 6 months old, and you've been on that planet for trillions of years, and now he wants to tell you how to live. See, that's our problem. See, we are people that we have never questioned what they have given us. See, if we would have questioned what they have given us, we wouldn't be in the shape we're in today or whatever. But we never questioned. He said, "Be good Negroes, obey master, and you go into heaven." While he was doing and breaking all the laws that would get him to heaven, he was breaking them, but he had us following them. And you know, we never questioned that. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you know, one of the biggest things that got me with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was said that he met God. Because this man had taught us you couldn't see God unless you die. Well, if you can't see him unless you die, well, how you know so much about him? See, we never questioned all that. And then, you know, you sit back, you think about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's program, How to Eat to Live. The less you start eating, the better you start feeling. You know, you imagine you eating all night long, consuming, and it's taking your stomach 12 to 14 hours to digest everything. You ain't never resting because your stomach is constantly working. You know, we never, you know, he taught us to be, he was trying to teach us to be scientists or whatever. And, you know, sister, I'm constantly studying, understand the you know, gardening and whatnot, because I try to grow most of my food. And every year you learn something different, more and more about this planet Earth. And, you know, the earth has been sick because of this enemy, and we are sick. Like you say, or you got high. Every time you go to a doctor, he's going to find something wrong with you. You're not going in a doctor's office, he ain't going to find something, or it's going to prescribe some type of prescription for you, whatever. But then, and our ignorance, we don't look at the fact that, but it's going to give us 5 or 6 other problems. We don't look at that. We got one problem, but the medicine he's going to give us, going to give us 5 or 6. And we don't have a problem with that. But you know, Queen, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us, and you know, and when you think about the Bible says God comes after the workings of Satan. But Satan been working for 6,000 years, and so we got to wake up, understand, and do just like what you all are doing. Start studying ourselves, researching ourselves or whatever. We so busy in this world, understand, that we ain't doing what we supposed to be doing with our own self, Brother Carl and Queen. You know, and so it's on us. It's on us, on the individual, whatever.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
It's on us.
we down on time. I don't mean
all
to
right,
cut
well,
you off.
I thank for the time. Hey, Brother Carl and Queen, you all have a blessed day. Love both of you guys.
Thank you. Hello, you on the air?
Well, you know me, I said it all the time. We've been tricked religiously and politically. We've been waiting on fake false leaders as long as we've been waiting on the fake white Jesus. But you have to study yourself to be improved and know that the God and the goddesses is already in you. Love y'all.
Love you too. Last call, I believe.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, happy Tuesday to both of you.
Same to you.
I want to invite all of those who are Muslim, Christian, Jewish, everybody
this coming Saturday to the Hood Research Gathering. We're going to be at the Dabo Center, Grand River, and Wyoming. The address?
Theo,
Yes.
are you too close to your mic because some of the stuff is not coming out clear?
Oh, okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. This coming Saturday, I want everybody, regardless of their religious beliefs, to join Hood Research. Our meeting will take place at the Dabo Center of Grand River in Wyoming. The address is 12048 Grand River on the corner of Wyoming. The time is from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. We have a lot of information, presenters coming, surprises, prizes, refreshment. And we, this year, are 27 years old. And we want everybody to bring someone with you. Come and join us this Saturday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now.
Yeah. Now that's that's one of the places that if you want to, and that's one of my favorite persons. If you knew better, you would do better.
That's right.
That's where you go to do better.
Mm-hmm.
So make it Saturday at 2 o'clock at the Dables Center, right there on the corner of Wyoming and
Grand River. Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing about going to these meetings. You never know what you learn, but you always learn something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, long as I've been with Hood Research, so I'm still learning. Different people come in talking about different subjects and different topics. And, somebody that's in that particular field and they always bring something to the table that you hadn't even thought about.
Mm-hmm.
So, come to Hood Research at 2 o'clock at the Dabo Center, Wyoming and Grand River, and you will not be disappointed.
That's right.
And you never know who you might meet or who you might see.
Mm-hmm. And Attorney Sterling is going to talk about a class action lawsuit.
Who was that now?
Come hear about that, Attorney Sterling.
Oh, what kind of suit?
Most likely about water.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to try to be there. I know I got to be there because he's talking my kind of talk.
Mm-hmm.
And not just my kind of talk, all of our kind of talk.
That's
because
right.
water is the source of life.
Yes.
And if you don't, you need to know about that, the cost and the different things that they are doing to the water to make it bad. Water didn't come here bad. It's stuff that they putting in it to make it bad.
Right.
So, make sure you come on out Saturday, 2 o'clock, Dabo Center, Grand River, and Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
And,
we'll be there till 6. Have
yeah.
refreshments as well.
From 2 to 6, and refreshments. And I don't know who else might show up because most of the time when we have these meetings, we'll tell you about one thing, and then somebody else will come in that not that we overlooked them, but sometimes they come in unexpected. During the program, and they bring some very fruitful information in, and it's always good. You never can get too much information.
Right.
The right information,
Exactly.
that is. Yeah. Because for a long time we've been getting a lot of information, but it was all garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it affected us, and that's why we end up doing things that was not in our best interest. But once you find out the truth about certain things and you get the right information, but then you can make the right decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Thank you so much for that.
Is there anything else you like to add, Theo?
Well, I had a question. There was a combination of herbs to lower blood pressure. You got time to share that with the people?
You said herbs to
Yes.
lower your blood pressure?
Mm-hmm.
The one that I always talk about is the cayenne, the ginger, and garlic. 2 parts garlic,
All right.
2 parts ginger, and 1 part cayenne.
Okay.
Cayenne is a blood pressure where's a blood thinner, natural blood thinner. You don't have to take no pill. Because that cayenne would, what it does naturally is heat your blood up, and it speeds the flow of rate of flow of your blood. So if it's moving fast and it don't slow down, there can be no blood clogs. It's just like water. If when it moves slow and get cold, it freezes. Blood, same thing. That's what causes blood clots. As long as it's moving fast with the cayenne in it and it's heated up,
The
you won't have-
circulation.
that's right. So, you know, just little simple things like that would help you. And ginger, it's good for your respiratory system and a lot of different things. So just those three things right there. Not only is a blood pressure regulator, but just by, you know, what your blood is your source of life.
Right,
And,
right.
and
Life
if
is
you
in
take,
it,
yeah. And if you take care of your blood, you ain't got to worry about no
Yeah,
disease.
take care of you.
That's right.
That's right. You take care of your blood, and it'll take care of you.
care
I
of
like
you.
that.
And make sure that cuff is calibrated right.
Yes.
This calibration, they don't never, you know, when was the last time it was checked?
Mm-hmm.
It was designed to be in the interest of those they created it for.
That's
Right.
right. Designed to keep your pressure up high.
With the readings.
With the
Designed.
readings, the reading is artificially high already. So a lot of times when you think that your blood pressure is high, when you're taking your pressure, it's not. So, you know, and sometimes you have to go just by how you feel. If you feel all right, well, then, you know, you all right. Sometimes we self-induce stuff.
There.
Right, right. Positive attitude helps you to be healthy as well.
All the time.
All
All
right.
the time.
Well,
this is
we will see you Saturday, 2 p.m. Dabo Center, Grand River, Wyoming.
Wow.
Yes.
They know the difference between a fee and a tax, huh?
Yeah. yes.
important.
Yeah, that's one thing we're going to be talking about at the meeting.
Yes.
A fee and a
Oh.
tax with this water.
Right.
See, that's another misconception and that we've been, you know, been fooled by.
Oh, yeah.
But see, knowledge just comes from everywhere. You never know. Theo called here now. We done got to talking about something else. See, but you know, it's all good,
All right.
and we are we're
Hey.
down on time, and
Okay.
it has how and say this is the fastest hour in the show business.
I know that's
I don't
right.
know where it goes, but it's leaving here.
Okay. See
So,
you Saturday.
uh,
And we'll see you Saturday, exposed to propaganda.
yes. And one thing I wanted to tell you, don't forget to support this station, this program, WHPR, Legal Issue in Health. You can send your donation to HR Legal Issues. You can write it out to Carl Williams and put down in the memo, HR Legal Issues and Health, WHPR 160 Victor, Detroit. This is Highland Park, of course. So don't hesitate. Don't be shy.
And support the station.
And the zip is
support the
48203.
station and support us.
Mm-hmm.
And Theo has a show on Mondays from 9 to 10. So,
30.
you know, we got back-to-back information that you need to help. So we got to wrap it up now until next week. We'll see ya.